So we're leaving Sicily around 4 p.m. and heading towards Malta, about 140 miles. We'll probably get there tomorrow night or maybe the next morning. A bit of leftover swell from the last few days. Wind's not quite as strong as I expected, but maybe when we get further offshore, I might get up to approaching 30 knots. But yeah, right now it's maybe 15 at the most. Yeah, I think I'll probably take out a little bit more jib now, just so I go a little faster. Don't want to run into that guy. We're about 3 hours in, averaging 4.5 knots, making some dinner, and it's a lot less windy than I expected. We're just rolling around like crazy out here with this pretty big swell, about 8 feet of swell. Actually getting a little bit seasick. I think once I sit down from after I finish making dinner, I'll probably be fine. But I had the mainsail up, but then I dropped that and switched to the jib because it was starting to block the wind, and that made the rolling a bit worse. Maybe I should have just kind of done jibes downwind. I'll stick with this for a while though. It's mac and cheese for dinner. So the wind has dropped down to about 3 knots, which is really not enough wind to sail at all with this type of swell. And so the boat, it just kind of turned sideways to the waves, and they're rocking this like crazy. So it's making some not so nice noises. But the wind was supposed to be 15 knots and building up to like 25, so way less than the forecast said. I wonder what's going on. I'm assuming it will come eventually though. Ship coming by us. I hope he sees us because we're not really able to move here. Here's a look at the chart again. We've made it about halfway. And yeah, according to the forecast, the wind's gonna get strong. Right, it's day number 2. Winds were pretty light most of the night. And that made it a little bit rolly, but this morning they picked up. Actually, I think it's probably time to reef a little bit of the jib. We're doing 6 knots and sometimes accelerating up to 10 down these waves. Too bad yet. Yeah, we're starting to head just over a little bit now. I think I'll put a little jib away. Alright, that should make it more comfortable. So now we've got about that much jib left. And yeah, we're a lot more comfortable, I think. This should start picking up a little bit. Oh, that was a good speed boost. Sideways a little bit. Come on, wind vane, steer us back. We can do it. Do it. Get wet. We're gonna get wet if we don't do it, wind vane. It's trying its hardest. It'll get us over. It'll get us over. back on course. It's getting up in the high 20s again. Mid 20s. Oh man. That was a bad. Got knocked over pretty hard there. Okay. Oh shoot, I had chicken in there. Ah, the chicken was, oh man. Everything's everywhere. So the wind speed's gotten up to 31, 32 knots. 24 apparent. The boat is actually handling it quite well. I reduced the sail even more. There's a tiny little bit of a jib out here. Can't even see it, just a little tiny bit. And we're doing 6 knots, sometimes 7, 8, 9, and 10. Every once in a while I get some big sets of waves, but we're just pointed downwind. What I think I want to do though is I want to try out my series Drogue because I've got about 50 miles before I get to Malta. So that should give us plenty of time to deploy it for a while and try to pull it back in once the wind calms down. I think I'll try to set up a trip line because I've heard they can be very difficult to get back in. But I think it's important to test out all your equipment before you get in a real situation where I really need it. Like if it gets up to 50 knots, I don't think it will, but one day I might be in that situation. I don't want to hesitate before I use it, you know, like I don't want to be unsure if it's the right thing to do. So we're gonna try it out and see how the boat behaves under series Drogue and with 30 knots of wind. And that should give me an idea for if I want to use it in the future or do something more like heaving too. Well, the first issue is it's at the very bottom of this locker. With waves crashing over the stern, I really wouldn't want to be digging through here too long. So this is my series Drogue. I built it myself. It is 150 of these cones on a Dyneema line. Little mini parachutes basically. There's loads of them in here. Now to use it, I have to attach it to the back of the boat. Somehow. Looks like all my snaps have seized up. So I've got a bridle here. There's 2 chain plates on the sides of the boat, on the back, I mean. Also using winches, I suppose. Okay. Let's give it a shot. Okay, bridle's attached. I just need to find the end of it. There we go. Okay, so I've got a scuba weight on this end. So, ooh, let's see how this goes. This is what it looks like, this parachutes. So just making sure everything is untangled and clear and ready to go, because once I think this starts paying out, it's going to start coming out fast. And not fast. It's scary. Okay, sit down for a second. Alright. It's hot. Wow. The boat just stopped. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. We just came to a dead stop. Now will the waves crash over us? That is the question. It's actually pretty comfortable right now. So the series Drogue is deployed. See the long bridle and then the cones out there. attached to these chain plates on the side here. Some strong loads on this. Coming down below, I think it was a success, and I definitely learned a few things too. One would be, I think I need to make my Drogue a little longer. This is actually what Drogue was designed for my 23-foot boat, and when I looked at the specs, they didn't have it. It didn't go down to 23-foot boat. I think it was maybe smallest was like 28 or 30 feet. And so I just kind of scaled it because the longer boats had longer Drogues, so I kind of scaled it down. But now that I think about it, the wave period is always going to be the same. It doesn't really matter how small your boat is. So you still need to have a Drogue capable of stretching, massive wave periods, and which if you have like if you're in a storm, you can have those waves that are a lot stronger. Obviously, it would work now because the waves period is short enough that the Drogue can stretch across the different crests. See, the problem you would get is if enough of the cones come out of the water, like they stretch out between the crests of the waves, your boat can drop down the face of a wave and get too fast and pitch pull. We're obviously no risk of that right now. These waves are maybe 8 to 10 feet, and the wind, it's like in the high 20s. It's all maybe 28 to 33. But this is why I test it, so I could know how it would perform if I did have bigger waves. Also, attaching those bridles to the chain plates in the back was no fun. So I think what I need to do is, if I don't want to leave it permanently attached, I need to make little tails coming off there, so then I can attach the series Drogue from in the cockpit and inside the cabin, actually, so that I could actually leave the series Drogue in the cabin, have little tails that come out to just outside the cabin. Whoa, that was a steep one. Just happening. No, it's the same. The motion in the cockpit is pretty comfortable. We're gonna ride this Drogue probably all night long. It's going to slow us down so we don't get to Malta too soon, because as it was now, we would be getting in while the wind was still gusting to the 30s, and it would be the middle of the night, and I'd like to get in the morning when it calms down a little bit. Perfect chance to try it out. I didn't even do a trip line because I'll just wait for the wind to calm down. I think there would be no way I could get this in. I mean, probably some way, but it would be a massive effort to get the Drogue in, even in 30 knots of wind. My first really big wave. Yes. Sure what's going on with that. Doesn't like it. Make sure the electronic stuff put away. There goes my flooring. I had the wind vane popped out, so I had to pull that up, but that's fine. Probably should take that blade off too. So the water is really disturbed. Some big waves must have come through. I'm kind of happy to be using the series Drogue today. I think it's not a bad idea in these conditions. It's kind of hard to tell, but with the Drogue out, I think we're doing about 2.5 knots downwind, which is pretty good. We should get there around this time tomorrow, middle of the day, a little afternoon. It's gonna be crazy out here now. These waves are, over 10 feet now. Series Drogue still hanging in there. I'm going to be curious what it looks like when I retrieve it tomorrow. I will probably wait till tomorrow to retrieve it. I built the thing myself over the course of several weeks, just spending an hour or two watching movies while sewing all those cones. and it was kind of a meditative process, you know. Just kind of zone out and sew some more cones here or there, and then it was also the process of just tying all the knots and weaving all the cones through the Dyneema. They're pretty expensive if you want to buy them yourself. So if you've got the time, then I'd say build it yourself. And I use Dyneema instead of nylon because if you look at like the thickness of the nylon you would need, the thing would just take up the whole cockpit locker, really huge. And so Dyneema lets you downsize the line because of the extra strength, and then there's less stretch too, which I think is good. Okay, so I just had another big wave come and broke through the my little door, so I think it's probably time to pull out the real hatch boards to secure us a little better. How full is the cockpit? Is that draining? Sloshing water in there still. It will be interesting to see how much better these hatch boards keep water out than the hinge doors. That one goes there. There we go, double layers of protection. I'm keeping an eye on the AIS too. There seems to be a lot of ships coming through here. All right, it's 1 a.m. Winds died down to 19 knots. So I think it's time to pull in the Drogue. Otherwise, we're not going to make it in tomorrow before the wind dies. Even though it's dark and the waves are still huge. Just got to get work before it gets better, I guess. It's time to do it. The series Drogue is retrieved. Everything looked perfect condition. It was a lot easier than I expected. I think the wind died down a little bit as I was getting out here, and then the little extra speed helped us with the waves. So now we're moving at about 4 knots, heading towards Malta. So we probably get in tomorrow in the middle, in a little late morning, maybe early afternoon, something like that. I'm gonna go to sleep now because we got plenty of sea room. All right, it's the next day. Not too bad out here. This guy's getting kind of close. Don't hit me. We are moving along all right. Winds are lightening up though, so I'm glad I took the series Drogue out last night and put up the rest of the jib. Moving along at maybe 3 knots, and I think we got 11 nautical miles, 12 or 11 nautical miles to go to Malta. So hopefully we can get in there around noon. Hopefully the wind doesn't die completely before we get there. This is a good speed. This would be a good wind speed to tack up into the boatyard. And I had a cell signal for a few moments, and I got my emails, and I got a response from the boatyard here on I believe it's Manila Island or something. They gave me a quote. I guess it sounds like they will be able to haul my boat out maybe today, maybe tomorrow or something, maybe this week. I'm just gonna sail the boat right up to their boatyard. Hopefully there's room. I think the quote was like $400 for the in and out, and then $50 a week plus whatever it costs to fix the propeller. But you know, that's the price you pay for owning a boat. I'm sure I could probably somehow do it a little bit cheaper. I'd probably spend more money in the end if I try to like do cheap out and fix it myself. I already spent $80 on that prop puller, but I think it was worth a shot. So while I'm here, I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff, just little projects on the boat, get it fixed up again, get the new sails. They arrived today. I think probably once I pay customs, they'll probably actually arrive tomorrow. Yeah, the boat's a mess after this passage. So let's get it all sorted out. So I'm trying to beat the wind before it dies, so I pulled out the spinnaker. It gave us a little bit of extra speed, but man, that was hard to get set up in this amount of swell we got out here. It's still pretty rolly. Yeah, I think having the mainsail up stabilize the boat though, eventually. But yeah, the sails are still flopping around. It's kind of annoying. but only 11 miles to go. Get a brand new set of sails. I made it about 4 miles with the spinnaker, and then it just got into a massive knot, so back to just using the normal sails. I think I'll probably pull out the jib on the other side. You can see Valletta. I think that's Valletta in the distance. 7 miles to go. I might put the spinnaker out again. I just need like an hour to get over all the anger I had. You get so mad at your boat sometimes when it's just pitching and rolling and things are tangling up. Not in the mood for it. It's snack time. I'm trying to resist the urge to eat the second ball of fresh mozzarella. I don't think it's going to I'll be able to resist it. The salami is really good. From Italy too. In the boat. Now I'm just drying out the series Drogue so I can put it back in its bag. It's almost there. There's a bit of moisture in there. Less than a mile to the entrance now. Getting so close. So we are sailing in very, very slowly. I have the motor running in neutral because I can use it to go forward or reverse a little bit as long as I remember not to steer. But right now my cutlass bearing is still in good shape, so I feel like using it with the wonky prop. There's a lot of vibration. I feel like that could mess up the prop shaft or the cutlass bearing or even maybe the transmission. So I really want to save that for if I really absolutely need it. But we're sailing okay now. Just about 7/10 of a mile to get to the boatyard. Should be just up here and then around the corner to the left there on this island. Manoa Island. I think they do like super yachts too, so hopefully it won't be too outrageously expensive. Valletta over here. All right, looks like I can just slide right into this travel lift spot. This would be great. I couldn't ask for easier sailing experience than that. Guy on the forklift helped me out, and they said 5 minutes and they'll have the travel lift guy. I'm not here. So we got the cradle in the right position for the keel. Hopefully. Coming up. There is our damage there. I just checked in with the boatyard. They were super nice here. It sounds like they're going to be able to get this stuff done pretty quickly. They even have already found me an extra propeller if they're not able to fix this one, which I don't think they will be. They were friendly in that way. Someone's friendly when they're about to take a whole lot of money from you. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help me with my upcoming boatyard bill, links are in the description for how you can do that. I got Patreon, PayPal, Venmo, all sorts of stuff. If not, think about subscribing if you're getting something out of the videos. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Next video will be in the boatyard at Manoa Island. I gotta thank the guys at the boatyard there because like I went to 4 boatyards in Sardinia and no one really took me seriously, but these guys have been super professional. They got me out within like 5 minutes and all the work went pretty well. So I'm very happy with them. So in the next we'll go over all the stuff in the next video that I do to the boat, get my new sails, and then also I was super stoked this video to get to try to use the series Drogue. If anyone else has ever used one and has experience with it, and I'm curious if you could like maybe leave a comment for how it went, because I think not that many people have actually really used theirs in a lot of wind. I don't think I filmed pulling it in, but I pulled it in, just wrapped it around a winch and winched it right in. Winded down probably to 15 to 20 knots, so it was really not that difficult. I've heard lots of stories that are very hard to pull in, but I think when the wind gets that low, it's not too bad. Because the boat will kind of surge, you know, a little bit, or rock, and it's just like pulling off an anchor. You pull it in a little bit when it goes slack, and then it goes tight, and you just hold it, pull it a little more, and no damage or getting tangled on the self-tailing winch. It was all fine. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks again for watching.